How are my lovelies? We are going to take a look at September 2020. And although the world is going a little crazy out there and is continuing to morph into something a little bit more interesting every single day, I did realize that the energies of August did play out a little, a lot like the way I thought they would. Things have sped up quite a bit. And I've noticed the trend here tends to be either everybody on one half is kind of just floating on cloud nine and enjoying life. Things are going really well. On the other half, you guys are like cleaning out house, you know, trying to eliminate what you don't need or who you don't need, and picking up you're picking up, depending on your situation, either picking up where you left off, picking up your heart on some occasions, just trying to kind of get back on top of the horse and get to the next destination. So a little bit harder for some of you, and for others of you, it's going in an absolutely amazing energy where things are just going better than you might have even expected. So depending on your situation kind of determines where you're at. But what we're going to look at for this particular reading is where, what challenges you are facing at this particular moment as we enter into September. I want to see what that challenge looks like. If there's anything that you need to know that's just real about the situation, that you're just, it's just this pressing question on the validity of the situation. Is this real? I'm going to tell you what about it is wrong, where you might need more information, and overall just kind of where this is going and what you can do about it, okay? So that's where September's looking here. I feel that things are, even though despite what's going on in the world, things are picking up and placing us in a position where we can really start to manifest our goals right now. I think that everything's really starting to concentrate on fine-tuning what we want, where we want things. So let's take a look for you how things are going as far as your particular situation, all right? All right, Aries, let's take a look at your situation. So I get the feeling like you've been in kind of this, I don't know, very, shall I say, aggressive type of, energy, or possibly just kind of ready, for something to go down. This month, for September, it's going to benefit you more to attract more flies with honey than with vinegar, basically, because it's not that conflict isn't necessary sometimes, but there are times when you can have a kind of a more diplomatic approach to the situation and you will get more out of it. So before you just go running towards a conflict thinking that you have all the answers, I would back up for a sec and reevaluate it and find out if taking this in a productive fashion is going to get you more, or if there is something that truly just needs to be said, coming from, your heart of hearts, from your soul, from your truth. So just, I would suggest just take a moment to evaluate that before, you jump into a pile of shit that you really are going to not enjoy. So we got the Page of Pentacles in the reverse when it popped out, and this is to just kind of go over the challenge that you're dealing with at the moment. So the challenge is, do I approach this matter or do I not approach this matter? Is this something that's going to get me to the next, step, or is it going to regress me backwards? So the challenge is taking a moment to really study that situation for a second and determine if it's worth your time. Is it going to, is it going to matter tomorrow, the next week, in a year? Is it something that can have a recourse that could have a benefit for you in the end if handled just right? So a few minutes can go a long way in this particular aspect, okay? What's real about the situation? Well, I feel like this is kind of a test, and it's got reward attached to it. It's something that you can feel good about in the end once you make the right decisions with healing some of these emotional situations. That's kind of what's happening. Emotions are coming out when there's conflict. So whether that's attached to a deeply rooted matter that needs to be dealt with, whether you need to just go ground the situation, it could just be the energies are very intense and high for you this month. So it can depend on, a lot of things depending on who you are. Some of you, it could have to do with a person or a situation that you're still kind of recovering from, and you are feeling like that's kind of holding the cloud over your head a little bit, which is totally understandable. Another reason why taking a moment before you have anything to say or a reaction of any kind would do you some favors, especially when we're going through emotional things. It's very hard for us to make decisions that aren't reactive, and so that could be the situation too. You could have just been coming out of something that's been pretty stressful for you. So just give yourself a little bit of a moment, and don't make it so hard on yourselves. All right, so as far as where you might need some more information, I think you need validation in some areas. Something happened in recent times where it's just been kind of this. You're over it. You're over the intensity. You're over everything that's going on in kind of your world. That seems like a struggle. You're over the heartbreak, if that's the situation, the games, the bullshit, and otherwise you're just ready to remove yourself from this overwhelming feeling, and you're ready to reconcile into something better, more supportive, that you've just kind of maybe been procrastinating on, or you are contemplating on whether or not you want to procrastinate on it. And I wouldn't recommend it. I would say that isolation is not the best route for you right now. You need support. You need to get out there and get with your friends and get with your team and revamp yourself, okay? I think the hardest part for a lot of you has been this just staying at home or not having your normal routines. That's been pretty tough. All right, so, what you can do about this situation is do a little bit of those things that you've been thinking about. It's a thought, and then it just kind of goes into like the pile of thoughts. But acting on them is going to just kind of revamp your fire, your energy, your spirit, get you back into, your zone, and giving kind of some of that oomph to renew what you otherwise, are all about, and that's connections, that's people, that's relationships, that's taking things to the next level. It's dropping those swords, because you're not one to hold on to shit like that. You pretty much know how to work that sword energy, and this is about letting that go so that you can rekindle, reconcile, balance, whatever that is for you. Okay, but I do see a good partnership, something good coming your way, if you can discern accordingly, do it the best for you. And then when those conflicting moments happen, just take a second to evaluate before you react. It's like coming out of a relationship. You're going to have a moment where you have to make sure someone else's name's not coming out of your mouth. You're not using energy from a past conflict and putting it towards this conflict. Or maybe it's a job. Same rules apply. You can't use, you should take the wisdom from experiences and apply them, but the emotions are a little bit more tricky, so just discern the difference, basically, okay? So if you want to look at your personal situation, all of the information on how to book a session is down below. Everything is still 50% off. You can hit subscribe and comment giveaway down below, and I'll get you included into my free reading giveaway. And otherwise, have a fantastic month. Much love.